You're listening to the UK's biggest station, Mix Sunrise Radio. It gives me great pleasure to welcome my guest to the studio. It happens to be none other than Natasha Pagurani from Natco Foods. So, Natasha, welcome to Sunrise.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi. Now, let me just quickly tell my listeners first, of course, Natco Foods needs absolutely no introduction. You're a brand leader. You've been associated with lentils, spices, gram flour, nuts, all of that for the last 60 years, and you are pioneers in the South Asian food sector. And from 2011, Natco Foods has been donating the majority of its profits to the Human Capability Foundation, which is a UK charity that funds development projects back in India with a focus on women's education, women's empowerment. Now, Natasha and Luke Pagurani, you run the Natco business as well as the charitable foundation, and you're here to tell us more about it. So, Natasha, let's start with, why does Natco donate its profits to charity every year, and what percentage of profits are we looking at here?
Sure. So I run the business with my brother Luke, and we love the business. You know, we get to give fantastic products to people so they can create lovely meals with their families and friends. But why else are we in business? Part of the thing is that we want to have a positive impact in the world. We want to be able to give back to people who are less fortunate than us, to give them opportunities to be able to live more free and more educated lives. So every year, for the last, like you said, for the last 5-6 years, we've been giving over 85% of our profits to charity every year.
That's a very impressive number indeed, over 85% of your profits. Could I ask you, why did you pick India? Any particular reason why you chose to channel these funds towards charitable causes in India? Yeah,
so some of our products come from India, not all of them, but some of them, things like our haldi, chili, poppadoms. So in that sense, part of the reason was that we wanted to give something back to the country where our products come from. But also, as you're aware, India is a massive country, the population 1 billion. So if we think about how the world's going to develop in the next 20 years, we have so many people up and coming in India. So if we think like climate change, sustainability, we need to get involved with India and hopefully make people more educated so they can kind of come into the world and have a positive impact.
Now, of course, when it comes to your charitable work, are there any particular causes that are close to your heart than others?
Yeah, so we decided to focus on women's education and women's empowerment. We feel that women for a long time have been kind of forgotten, and we know now that there's so many economic reasons why women should be educated. We know that if a mother is educated and can read and write, she's able to take care of her children more effectively. You know, when she takes them to the doctors,
absolutely,
she can read the prescriptions, when she can get more involved with their school education, things like this. But even just for the woman's sake herself, you know, I think of this thing of how isolating it must feel as a woman if you can't read and write. We take it for granted, you know, how much information we take from just the newspapers. But if you can't read that, you're dependent on other people.
Absolutely.
Just travelling outside your local neighbourhood becomes difficult because you can't take buses necessarily, you can't travel by train. It really limits your options. So I think that for us is so important, that women have fulfilled lives, they're able to have opportunities, they can read books. You know, even just a simple thing, we think about the internet now, how much information is accessible. But if you can't read it, if you can't write, then it's kind of useless to you.
You're so right. That has to be the first step, because when you're educated, it opens up so many different doors for you. That has to be the first step, right? Now, for our listeners who are listening to you right now, and of course, perhaps those who didn't know that Natco Foods is involved in this fantastic way, and you know, like channeling 85% of your profits to charity in India, how do they get involved? How can they support your charity work sitting here in the UK?
Sure. So part of it is that actually they're already involved. Every time they buy any Natco product, you know, it's the profits from these sales of these products that is going to fund these projects. So just by buying our products, that's one thing. The other thing is we have a website, the humancapabilityfoundation.com, and there, if they buy things like our flavoured nuts, if they buy our spices, herbs, 100% of revenues, not just profits, but revenues will be donated to UK refugee charities. So it's kind of two separate things, but they're already involved.
So that's the all-important website, as Natasha mentioned, humancapabilityfoundation.com.
Yes.
Now tell me, do you hear back from people who your charities have supported and helped out and it has really made a difference to their lives? Do they come back to you? Do you get any sort of feedback? And it must give you great pleasure to see lives that you have actually changed through the work that you do.
For sure. So we get kind of reports on a quarterly basis from all the charities that we're funding. We'd like to obviously leave it to NGOs in India who have the experience on the ground to kind of do the work that they think is important. So I will just talk about one project which is in Delhi. So That's working with adolescent girls who are out of school. We run learning centres in kind of specific neighbourhoods around Delhi. And we may think that Delhi, it's the capital city, it's going to have access to the best education, but actually these girls can often not read or write simple sentences in Hindi. So they're adolescent girls, they're going to become women who can't read and write. So these learning centres get them in the local community to come to classes which will help them take mainstream examinations so that they can then get back into school and hopefully further education and get employment. One important thing about these learning centres is it's not just kind of bog standard curriculum. They've designed a curriculum which is going to be empowering to the girls. It's based on their local context so that they can...
Something they can relate to and something they can benefit from.
Exactly. And there's simple things like they learn about the local ecology of Delhi, so the rivers, the history of it. So then when they go out into the neighborhood, they feel connected to the city. But it's at the same time still learning the curriculum that helps them get back into mainstream education.
How fantastic is that? Natasha Pagrani, thank you so much for coming here and talking to us about this. To all my listeners, well, if you're buying NATCO products, you're helping the charities anyway. But should you wish to do so a little more directly, well, the website is always there for you. It is humancapabilityfoundation.com. Thank you so much. I wish you the very best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Well, there you go. Natasha Pagrani from NATCO Foods.
Sunrise Radio.